Welcome everybody back. Welcome everybody back to the channel. So I'm waiting for some of you guys to tap back in because we were having technical difficulties. We were having technical difficulties. So as you guys come in, definitely drop that like button. Definitely type in the live chat so I know that you guys are here. So definitely please do that. I would really appreciate you guys so I could know that there's no specific issues. So first thing as you guys come in, first thing. Mic check 1 2 1 2. We're back. We're back. We're back. So first thing. All right. Anyone who's even tapping into this for the first time, they're probably not even gonna watch this live because I'm doing such a terrible job at the start. But anyways, for anyone who's starting to tap in, who's starting to definitely check on the channel. First thing, shout out to all you guys. I really appreciate you guys for showing your support all 2022. Now we're in 2023. Much love. I appreciate you. Definitely write in the live chat so I know that if the quality is off, the audio is off. I was using a different program like 5 10 minutes ago, and it's still not working, so I had to go back to StreamYard. But seems like StreamYard is way easier to use for live, and everything else is good to use for the other programs. So we're gonna figure this out for the start of the year. But yeah, it is what it is. So first thing, Happy New Year to everybody. I know I have subscribers and viewers from all across the world. I know I have people who view me from different religions. Much love, and I appreciate every single one of you guys and gals that follow. You might have like 5 girls that follow this channel. Anyways, so sounds good. Everyone, Sam says the sound is good. Psycho Simon says sounds good. Phil says sounds good. And James, what's going on? So, first thing. I gotta drop a new intro. Because if you guys don't already know, your boy Boost has a new car. I have a new car. So you guys got to definitely tap in with the video. I dropped it yesterday. But if you guys don't already know, I have a Mercedes. I'm officially an owner of a 2019 Mercedes C60. I mean, E63. See, I'm so used to saying C63. It feels so weird saying now the E. It's only like 2 letters later. So it is. Maybe I'll get an S one day. I don't know. Probably not an S. S is too big. S63 is way too big of a car for me. So, anyways, I'm tapping you guys tonight because many blessings, many blessings, many blessings. It was a crazy 2022. I came from having a Q60, C63, now I'm then selling both cars, and then getting into now an E63. What is the second car for the channel? I'm already looking. It's a lot. And in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna be dropping some I don't want to say bangers on you, but I'm gonna be dropping some videos on the E63, and I think you guys are gonna really need to follow the E63 saga. So just want to let you guys know first. And anything else, I'm here to answer any one of you guys' questions. A lot of you guys started hitting me up on IG. Instagram did change up a little bit. I don't really answer questions for free anymore because I was getting so much questions and it was taking so much of my time. Once Instagram implemented a way for you guys to pay me like $1 or $2 a month and I'll answer all your questions, I implemented that and it made me regain some of my time. But I make plenty of videos already for the Q50, Q60 platform. So it's like, you really don't need to ask me some of these questions. But nonetheless, I did have some subscribers over there who definitely were paying $1 or $2 a month. And I really appreciate them too. Now, let me see. I'm going between YouTube and StreamYard. So some of the comments don't show. This one says, Phil says, my red sport is gone. Hello, Julia Quadrifolio. I mean, that car is actually super fire, and I think that car finally hit its peak depreciation. Well, with the exception of the last 2 years, it depreciated a lot. So I think that's a good car that people could actually hop in. That's necessary, very different. You don't see those cars at all. And I live in New York City. People usually like brand name cars. You barely see those. We see a quadrifolio. You barely see it, and you can't even compare a quadrifolio to like a Q50 or Q60. It's just not gonna work. hmm So Corey says, "What's good, Boost? What's the plans for the E63?" Well, Harris, I mean, to be honest with you, we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Already been researching this platform for about the last 6 to 9 months. And what I can sit there and say is I feel way more comfortable mounting this car because it's all-wheel drive. 100%. 1 second, guys. 1 second. 1 second. Now, what I also want to add is modifying a Mercedes is a lot more expensive than a Q50. I could tell you that right now because you need two high pressure fuel pumps. You still need an in tank pump, and that kind of brings the price. And tuning is not cheap. With the W213 and W205 with the 9-speed automatic transmission tune is already between $2,500 to $4,000. Ouch, boy. So it definitely is expensive, but we're gonna wait and see. You guys are gonna like what's going on really soon, but it's easier to change out the turbos on these cars, though. I would say that the turbos sit right on top of the motor, right under the hood, so you don't have to drop a motor and everything just to put a turbo on this car. And these cars make it between about 750 to 850 wheel horsepower and 93 on larger turbos. So, but it's also a 4,500 pound car, you know. Do your old mods for the C50 E63. I really didn't do no mods on the C63. That was just really me learning Mercedes and the M177 motor. So I really didn't do anything for that car. The only thing I've had on the C63 was JB4 boost controller. It already had a secondary catalytic, intakes, and that's it. Intakes already sold them. They don't fit on that car. I still have the JB4. Technically, it's the same motor. If I wanted to, I can install the JB4 on the E63S. I'm not really. I'm on the fence about that for now. And that's pretty much it. There's a bit more modifications for the all-wheel drive, but right now, I want to get back into wheel game. If anyone who knows me from my older cars, I am big on wheels, and people who know me from Brooklyn, like I love my cars to have a nice stance. And this car has air suspension. So yeah, it's gonna come up. I'm gonna talk about it in the next couple of videos, the next couple of weeks. So make sure you guys watch out for those notifications because I'm gonna give you the game about the E63S. But I need to get back into the wheel game. 100%. So that's probably something I'm gonna be going hard at in the next month or two. I'm gonna find a nice set of wheels, and I'll make sure that car looks sitting nice. That's I miss my car having nice wheels. The last two cars I had stock wheels, so I ain't trying to do that anymore. I'm getting back in the wheel game. Um, Congrats on the new whip. Been driving and 97 look to upgrade. Any advice shopping for E63 in today's market? Dave, listen, I was doing my research, and anybody who's known me who knows me from Instagram, pretty much my Instagram people know a lot more. But in the last 2-3 months, I've been kind of quiet on Instagram. But if you want a W213 E63S, I would say right now, I actually have videos talking about not just buying a Mercedes, but just buying cars right now in this market. Number one rule: use car gurus, right? Car gurus, and look for cars who sat on a lot between 60 days and 90 days and more. The reason why you want that is because those dealerships are probably more motivated to getting rid of those cars. Number two, right now is a weird point in the market because car sales have decreased. Car prices are continuing to decrease in the auction, and retail values are continuing to decrease because the buyers aren't there buying anymore. There's no more chip shortage. Don't let anyone tell you that bullshit. A lot of people's trade-ins on a car, though, their prices are finally went away. It was 6 months ago. You could have traded in your car in for about the price you bought it in the last 2-3 years. Now that's gone because the auctions are full, and a lot of dealers are not wanting to overbid and buy from other dealerships anymore. So right now, I would say depending on the E63 W213 you're looking for, if it's a 2018, I'm just gonna put this out. If it's 2018 W213, if it's under $75,000 and it's under 60 or 50,000 miles, that's not a bad price. Like under 70 grand, 65 grand, it's right around what you want to look for. 2019s, like what I have, I would say aim for, like, depending on mileage, somewhere between the mid 70s to mid 80s, depending on mileage. And try to find one that's still under warranty. Some of them, depending on where they were sold, they might still be under warranty. And anything 2020, 2021, that's a whole different. Well, 2021 is different because that's when they do the facelift. That's still above $100,000. But 2020, there's really no need to get one. It's like overpaying because it's really nothing different in the 2020 compared to 2019. So that's why I also learned about this car. That's why I went with the 2019 because it has a slightly different steering wheel and a couple other things, small things, but it's essentially still a car. But look for the 90-day rule. Look for cars that have been reduced. Try to stay away from anything that was rebuilt salvage, of course, because those actually screw you in the long term for any car, really. Because if you go purchase a car that was rebuilt salvage and then you put on the insurance and you crash it, they don't give you the proper value back because the car was rebuilt. So the insurance actually gives you back less money towards the price of the car. Also, if you can, try to find a service advisor or someone that works for Mercedes so they can check into the VIN number. Because in the next couple videos, I'm gonna break some stuff down for you, man. This wasn't an easy path to get to the 2019 E63s. I'm telling you that, guys, right now. Um, Let me see. But remember, guys, this is also an Infinity channel too. I got the information. I know you guys just watch me, just staring at your boy Boost. Today, I really was just kind of doing everything impromptu. Like I didn't really plan on going live, but I was like, you know what? It's the first live of the year. It's been a minute. Let me just hop on and see what everyone's doing on a excuse me, on a Monday evening. Some of you guys have today off. Some of you guys had to work. So I had to work. So it is what it is. Gotta keep on moving, you know. But I would ask you guys though, because I want to get interactive with y'all watching. What are some of your guys' goals for the year? I mean, let's start with cars. Some of you guys might be looking to get rid of your car. Like Dave said, he's looking for a 29 E63s. What are some of the cars you guys might be looking into? Just type it in the chat and I'll give you my honest opinion. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna tell you you can't get a car, but car shopping, you never know, man. And plus, it gets me more interactive with y'all because I always like to give back and show my love and support in any way that I can help you in any form. Um, right now though, I ain't really, guys. I'm just chilling, man. You guys gotta understand. Last year was a tough year because I was dealing with the two cars, and then I was like, what car am I gonna get next? I was looking to plenty of different cars, man. I was looking into M3s, GT63s. I was all over the place. I'm getting emails over here too. Um, I was all over the place, and I'm not gonna lie. The last part of this year was the hardest trying to look for a car because prices were coming down. I was trying to look for one that was still under warranty. I was really on the fence with the G80 M3 though. I was definitely looking into that car too. But I think I'm gonna make a video separately talking about the other cars I was looking into, but just to make it on live because you guys have definitely tapped in with me on this evening. The G80 M3 is overpriced, man. Right now, it's still overpriced. And what I mean by that is, even though the prices finally came down, right? They're not selling for over the price and used anymore, over MSRP. You can get like a 2022 now for the price of MSRP where it was last year, which is still bad because the car has so much more depreciation to go. So if you guys want to get like a G80 M3, just wait another 6 months. I'm saying wait till quarter two, quarter three. The reason being is that's when usually the old people start ordering the 2024 model. The 2023 models are already gonna be out, and they're gonna push down the 2022 models. But if you care about real wheel drive, honestly, just go and get a 2021. Uh, uh, G80, G82. Those prices are pretty cheap. I've seen them in the 60s and even the low 70s. So if you really still want to get a BMW, just get a 2021 if you want a road job. But if you want all wheel, just wait another 6 months. Happy New Year, Rock. Later I'm gonna no wait. Well, oh yeah, you asked about the DTC trans on the SE. I don't know about that. I never heard about them doing that in that platform, putting a DCC trans and also I don't know what transmission would you even use, and would even really make sense. The SCR is still what is it? That's still about a 2,900 pound or 3,200 pound car already. So would it really make sense for it to have a DCT? But that's just me asking Rock. I just not too familiar if people are actually doing that now on the platform. Um, okay, so I gave you guys an update on that. Also modability. So when I looked in more into the G80 M3, what turned me off mainly was the interior. I'm once again, I'm not trying to say, oh, because I got EC3, I'm better now. No, no. It's because the price of what it was 80, 90,000, almost $100,000 for the car. It's not that much more better than a 3 series. Like that's it. Like you could just get an M340 and be so much okay. Like you'll save $50,000 by just getting an M340. I know it ain't an M car, I get it, but the price difference for what you get, like you're really just buying a badge. Once again, it is an M car. It is powerful. You can do small modifications, a little bit of modifications, and it run low 10 seconds and everything. But I don't see that car as a bargain killer car, not until like it's like in the 70s or $60,000 territory. Once that car is in a $60,000 territory, that car is definitely will probably be one of the best bang for his bucks cars out here for what it comes with. But right now at 100 grand, it's too overpriced, and there's so much other cars for $100,000 that are so much more better than a G80 M3. That's just my honest opinion. Uh, you going full bolt on with the E63? No, I'm not really planning on yet. Once again, I just got the car. I know the platform, but it's a lot of money to make these cars fast, and also it's just like the W205. It's like there's no point of putting a bunch of modifications on it. Like there's no point of doing like catback exhaust. There's no point. You don't need to. A lot of people do catless, but there's no point in really doing catless. You can stay with the stock cats. I would say if I do any modifications for this car, I would do turbos because it's 3 to 4 hours to change them, and it is still a heavy car. It's 4,500 pounds. So turbos will probably be the easiest thing to do, and for the bet, it's probably the best bang for his buck too because everyone makes between 750 to 850 wheel and 93, and everything else pretty much stock. So, well, if you depending on the turbo size you go with, that's probably something more what I would actually look more towards to do, especially that the E63 and GTC 63 motors actually have a lower compression ratio motor. So they have actually lower compression. Like the cars hold a lot more boost, a lot more better than the W205 C63 and a GLC. So that's something that's also another reason why I'm actually really happy more with the E63 because it just takes more of a beating. So once again, I'm still learning, but that's something I'm probably more okay with. It's just that I need to find a tuner. I know I've been following a lot of the tuners for this platform, and I just they're still finicky. There's not much good tuners in the Mercedes platform, especially if you want to put turbos in and everything like that. You want somebody who do it right and do it right the first time, not someone who just sends you a base file. You know. I mean, like I just said, M340 is all-wheel drive. Yeah, like I would. That's why I said a little early. Like for the price someone pays for like a G80 M3, it's not worth it for the price it's at right now. Like just wait till the 2022s are like in the 70s or even the 60s, or at least wait 6 months. But right now, if you were gonna get a BMW, like a 3 Series, like you're really looking at a M3. I don't really see the sense in it. Like I see the sense of the M car name, but mm-mm. Just wait a little bit and save your nickels, or just get an M340 and just have fun with that for now. You'll have it's way better bang for its buck. And then when the M3 G80 is more affordable, like in the 60s, 70s, then jump into it. I'm not ever saying that people can't afford something. I'm just saying like that I just don't see the vast difference on getting that in the next car, the G80. Happy New Year's, man. Much love, Harris. Much love, much love. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. But you do turbos with no downpipe or even intakes. Yeah, you could do it on stock air intake. You can do it on stock downpipes. It all depends on what you want to do. Here's the next thing I don't like about the Mercedes platform, that I learned from the C63 is they turn off emissions. So when you guys add full catless on like the W213 or the W205, pretty much I think most of the latest Mercedes Benz, they turn off emissions because I guess whatever program they use or software computer will use, they haven't got smart like Infinities or even BMWs where it can still read the monitoring system or trick the monitoring system or whatever. So what happens is a lot of people would add downpipes, right? And they'll get the car tuned. And now when they go get their state inspection, they'll fail because the car was still not ready. So that's something reason why I would never really do downpipes at all. Or if I do it downpipes, I would do like a full catted downpipe. But the stock sizes aren't that bad. It's actually very similar. Like they're not fully 3 inch, but they're pretty flowy for what they are. They just have two cats. That's all it is. Also, I don't think it's a really good bang for his buck going full catless on a W205 or even W213. You're spending like $1,500 for downpipes plus, and then you gotta drop the transmission. Drop the transmission. So you're gonna spend about like $2,500 just to add in downpipes, and then your car is going to be a lot louder, more not raspier, but it's going to definitely change the sound of the exhaust. But it also the return in power, it really isn't there. Like it's not like you do. It's not like a Camaro or a Corvette or even a Hellcat that go with like headers and like a flowy exhaust, and they gain like 50 horsepower from going like flowy exhaust. Like this car doesn't really get a big jump from going full catless. Mm, all right. Yeah, appreciate that, Brad White. Much love. I appreciate that. Congratulations on the house too, brother. Congratulations on the house. I really rather have bought a house, but for my plans have once again changed for 2023. My lifestyle changed. The people in my life had changed around a little bit, so I said, you know what? Let me just have a little bit more fun with cars for now. I ain't got kids, so I'd rather have two turbos. Those are my kids, you know. So I just was like, let me just step out my box and once again, do a little bit more. But also, I just want to give you guys some game here, because I'm gonna make videos talking about it in the upcoming next couple weeks. But another reason why I wanted to end up getting into a more expensive car, not for flex or anything like that, is I want to get to more expensive cars. The reason being is you can't just go into a dealership and be like, I want a Lamborghini. Like you can make $250,000 a year, but if the last car you finance was only $30,000, they'll look at you and be like, no, we're not going to give you this Lamborghini unless you give us like 50% down, maybe more than that. Usually with credit reporting and everything like that, you got to earn it. So the last my last loan was the C63, which is like 40,000, and you usually could like almost like double that. So I needed to get a car that was between 70 to like 100K so I can like get it up and then rock out with that for like a year and then get into something else. Then I could get to that 150, 180 territory. Then get into that for like another 9 months to a year. Then after that, the sky's the limit. You got to earn your way up. So I know I want to work my way up to more faster cars and everything like that. Like this channel, I don't even know what this is anymore. Like this was a channel of me like working on cars because I enjoy doing it, and now it's kind of just going with me as I like grow up. I'm in my freaking mid 30s, but it's like switching to something else. Like I report the news, I talk about different car automotive news and stuff like that. I still report Infinity News if it pops up, but also I want to just start playing with different things, and I definitely want to start installing. I miss putting parts on cars, but what I realized also, I really got against like the vlogging thing too. I really do, and I actually bought some cameras again. And I realized with the C63 is I didn't want to really do too much with the C63, and I didn't drive as often. And the car just was a fast car for what it was, but it took away the 0 to 60 feel. I miss launching a car from a stoplight. The Q50, Q60 did that shit all day, every day. But the C63, it slowed me down. It literally made me like if I ever want to play with somebody, we have to be already in motion, boost in motion. I can never do boost from a stop. That's it with that car. And the Q60 was fun, but once I did everything, it was like, all right, this is it. I'm not doing turbos, and it was time to go. The market was still high. And the same thing for the C63. I needed it to go because I know the prices were coming down. And if I held onto that car for 6 more months, I probably would have lost more money on it. So I was like, let me get rid of it now. And it was just the right timing. Bear with me. Congrats on you, man. Appreciate that, Yusuf. Much love. Hey, Boost, I have a friend that wants to get an Infiniti G37. Should he go with an overdrive or rear wheel drive? 392 Sean, shout out to you. Much love, brother. I would say overdrive, man. Depending on where you live though. If you live like depending on where you live in the world, but let's just say you live in a cold climate with snow and stuff like that, get the all-wheel drive, much better. That's it, because I just like cars to have a proper amount of usability. Now, if you live like in Florida and he has another car, and he wants to slam it, add wheels to it, and slide it, then get the rear-wheel drive. It'll probably be more funner, and then also you could probably get an But you said G37X though, so if it's G37X, they only come in all-wheel drive. But if you do want it without the X drive and you want it in a rear wheel, you can get that in a 6-speed manual and have fun with that too. I would say the manual is more fun and the rear drive is more fun because you can slide and you could kind of like teeter on the edge a little bit. But there's nothing better than the controllability, man, and the comfort of knowing that you're pretty much not going to crash a 300 horsepower car if you mess up, So I would just say stick with the all-wheel drive. Also, I would add too is make sure if you're gonna get a G37X, try to get a 2014. I think it's a Q40, 2014, 2013 model, just so that you can evade that whole gallery gasket issue. That's a major problem with 2014 and older G37s. So try to find that year. What up, Boost? Just picked up a wrecked Q50 Lux, currently fixing it, but was wondering if you have any tips for keeping it reliable. Well, you bought a clapped one. It's gonna be kind of hard, Alex. Depending on where it got hit, but reliability wise, I think I made a video talking about how to keep the VR30 reliable. But very short answer: change fluids consistently, oil, rear diff, um, rear diff, transmission is very important. You have to do a transmission flush or drain and fill. I would recommend the drain and fill. Um, there's not that much. I can't remember when. Oh yeah, when you turn the car on. When you turn the car on, you drive it, let it warm up properly. Don't listen to what this nonsense is when it's 10 degrees outside. Just get in the car and drive off. Let the oil actually start to warm up. Give it a couple of minutes. When you pull up and you stop, give the car a couple of minutes so it can cool off, so that all that oil doesn't start burning up or turn into vapor. Because what I realized with the VR30 is there's no. Back in the day, we used to have turbo timers, right? And most cars still, like my C63 had technically from factory, it would run for another 2 minutes depending how hot the oil is. So the coolant and everything will still keep moving through the motor to cool it down for like 2-3 more minutes. The VR30 lacks that, and I think that's something very important that the industry knows is very important, but the VR30 doesn't have that. So fluids, give it the proper warm up cycles, give it a proper cool down cycles, and outside of that, what I would say is this. Um, Reliability is very important. So remember, this isn't a race motor. This isn't a race motor. The VR30 is not a race motor. It's nice that we can make 600 horsepower out of a pretty much $20,000 Infinity. Like it's dope. Like I love that fact. It's a good quick bang for its buck. But remember, once you start to turn up the boost, that's more heat, and it wasn't designed to be a race car. So when you turn the boost, reliability goes down. So just know there is a trade-off at some point. What's going on, C? Hey, Boost. Been binge watching your channel recently. Glad to catch my first stream. Much love, much love. Thank you for tapping in, man, and happy New Year. First thing, I don't even know how much you guys I actually have on the stream, but I want to say is thank you. Let me just go double check. Oh, I got about 36 you guys. If you haven't hit the like button already, guys, please hit the like button. I know it ain't much, y'all, but maybe one day I'll have 360 people on live stream, and then maybe another day after that, I have 3,600. You never know, but definitely hit that like button if you haven't already. Okay, appreciate you. um, okay, you're in East Baltimore. Yeah, get the all-wheel drive 392. Tell them to get the G37X, like a 2013 and up. Um, and or get the Q40. But the Q40 doesn't even, well, yeah, just get the Q40 too, because the Q40 was like 2014, 2015, I think. It's those years. They don't have no issue with the gallery gasket. Those are like the newer VQ motors. That VR30 is, I mean, that VQ37 is definitely gonna run. He's not gonna have to change the motor on that unless he literally hits a pothole and cracks the oil in a hole in the oil pan and it drains out. That was like probably one of the most reliable VQs. Or he can get a Q50 too, like a 2014, 2015. Hey Boost, I'm having a lot of smoke and liquid coming out of my exhaust. I have a JB4 setup on map 2. Do you have any insight on this? Lee, short answer. I don't know what kind of exhaust you have, but uh you gotta remember that. Okay, I'm gonna make it even shorter. if you have an aftermarket exhaust, you're gonna see condensation coming from the exhaust. That's just what these cars do. They do smoke a little bit. There's a lot of heat, and because the exhaust system is so restrictive, by the time it comes to the back of the axle, the muffler, all that condensation has turned to water. So unless that liquid and smoke smells super sweet, anyone who's been in the car community, usually when the your car's eating coolant, the exhaust will smell sweet. So unless that exhaust smells sweet or it smells like burnt oil, and I mean burnt oil, have a blue tint to it, it's just the condensation. That's it. And especially that's colder. If you live in a cold climate, you'll see some of that. You may even see it in a hot climate too. People in Miami hit me up like, "Yo, Boost, I put on down pipes and catback exhaust. Now my catback is now it's smoking. Is that a bad thing?" I'm like, it's just condensation. That's really all it is. It's the exhaust coming out and just condensating. But my final words I would say is just double check your coolant reservoir when it's cold for the next couple mornings, and then from that, about every week to 2 weeks, so you see that there's really no big change or anything, or it's not going dry, then you should be perfectly fine. Can we just agree that hypothetically the W206 would have been goaded? Wait, would have been goaded if it had the M? Yes, 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 yes. I'm gonna listen. Listen, I'm definitely good. Yo, AOKO is telling the God honest truth. Listen, I know we car guys on this video, right? I know some of us got infinities, but we still like cars, right? And you should still look at your competition. So if you got a pure turbo Q50, Q60, or even a 93 tuned one, these are some of your competition G80s. Yo, the W206, a new C63, would have been a fire car if they would have kept it with the V8 and added the all-wheel drive system. It would have been insane car, but they messed up. They messed up by adding this hybrid technology and making the car 4,600 pounds. So the C63S, I think it's going to have its own place in the community, but I don't think a lot of people are going to end up going to get it. I think people are just going to end up getting like an E63, or honestly, they just won't shop that car. They'll just get an G80. So I definitely agree with you on that one, man. I really need help with this. If anyone has insight, will please. I think I answered that question, right, Lee? Yeah, Lee. Hopefully, I answered that question. Okay, cool. Hell yeah, happy New Year, bro. Much love. Uh-huh. Yeah, yo, Maryland, stand up. Maryland in the chat. All right, let me speed up. Salute from Eastern New York. What's going on, King Briggs? What's up? What's up? Eastern New York is in the chat. What's up? Represent NJ. NJ in the crib. What's going on, NJ? What's going on? What's up? What's up? If you could only get a car between 25 to 35K and wanted a mix of reliability and fun, what would that car be? Jordan. Ooh, shit. The thing is with me, I like all-wheel drive cars. I really stay away from like American cars. Um, and especially in that territory. There's not much cars I would really look to get in that territory. Maybe like a an SS. What is it called? It's an SS, 6-speed manual rear-wheel drive SS, and I don't mean what they. It's just the SS. That's all it is. That car, I like that car for that price range, but it's rear-wheel drive. And yeah, I know it's stick, but I would actually really consider that car. I believe the ATSVs are in the $30,000 territory too. ATSVs, not the old CTSVs. I don't really care for those, but the ATSV I think is somewhere around that $35,000 territory. Definitely like that car. 25 to $35,000 territory. Other cars, S4. Definitely S4s. I like those too. I think that's like the 2019 and up S4s. I think, or 2018. When it's like after it was supercharged, like they switched like a turbo setup. I like those S4s. The supercharger is okay, but I'd rather just get the turbocharger one. That's it. But you said reliability. The reliability S4 is not that bad. I don't know about the ATSV, and I know the SS is pretty much okay. 35, 25 to 35,000 territory. Um, I really got spoiled, man, by like going German now. So now I be starting to think about German cars. Uh, I want to say cars that keep equity too. Like if you can find, don't judge me, guys. If you can find like an Evo 9 or 10 and it wasn't beat to shit, I think those cars are really probably really fun too. The reason I'm saying is they are reliable vehicles. It's just that you don't want to beat on them like, try to make 500 wheel or anything like that. I think the Evo 9 and 10 will be also really good cars because they don't lose value anymore. If you find one for 25,000, you're like, wow, I'm spending this much money on a car because there's a buying market. There's only a small amount of them, and there's a large amount of buyers. So I would say those cars are actually pretty reliable for what you want to do with them, and they're pretty fun cars too if you do drive 6-speed manual. You could get the Evo 10 and like automatic, but I don't know how good those DCTs are in those cars. I am gonna get off this topic. There are a lot of cars for 25 to 35 grand. There's so much vehicles that I would just like to just own or just drive. There's a lot. Like you also have Corvettes in that price range. You have older Chargers, the six ones in that price range. Shoot, there's a lot of cars, man. That question's a lot, but those are some of the cars I listed that I would actually recommend. Shout out to you on that question, Jordan. I appreciate you. No mufflers or resonators. Oh, that's why. Yeah, bro. So I answer your question, Lee. That's why. That's condensation, man. That what it is condensation. You could put it to map 0 and it's still gonna do the condensation. Hey Boost, I have a question. My Q50 has a problem where the ABS light comes on randomly and off. It comes on in the rain and turns off in the dry. Any idea of my issue? It might sound like an intermediate short. That don't make sense. Or check your do you have aftermarket wheels or anything? Because usually the ABS light coming on is usually for no, he says intermediate. Check your your brake fluid level. Just take a look at that. Also, depending on how you drive, they may be a short or ABS is soon going to go out soon. But I really won't be able to tell you much more than that. Like the car just need to be diagnosed. But if it's an intermediate problem, I hate to say it, just gotta live with it. You gotta wait till the problem actually sticks and then you fix it. Because the ABS problem, it might just be a sensor that's starting to go out, or the harness may not be clipped in all the way or something. So you just gotta sit there and wait. But if the ABS light goes on though, don't think that, oh my god, I'm gonna crash. The car's gonna stop working. Usually, when the ABS light comes on, then you usually lose ABS. So the car still brakes, but the wheels might just fully lock up. Now, if there was ever an emergency situation, um, what's going on, Mayo? I appreciate that. Congrats, 2017 Q60 Red Sport, and thoughts on improving gas mileage and maintenance of throttle body. I think you said 500. Mayo, much love. I appreciate you. What I'm gonna sit there and say is, like I said a little earlier, maintenance, change all your fluids, drain and fill the transmission fluid. Do your oil every 2 to 3,000 miles. I'll say 3,000 miles. Change your rear diff. You don't really have to change the transfer case so much or the front diff if it's an all-wheel drive. And you said improving gas mileage. I'm sorry, man. You got a 400 horsepower twin turbo V6. Come on. Come on, look at me. Look at me, bro. Come on. It's a 400 horsepower twin turbo V6. How much better do you really want it to be? Do you want something better? Get like a four-cylinder Camry or a Prius. I'm being honest. There's nothing really much more you can really do, especially when you start modifying. The cars, you drive on the highway, your car's gonna do between 20 and 25 miles per gallon, depending on the tire size, the type of tires you have on the car. To be like an engineer explain video, depending on the tires you get also affects mileage. So like some Michelin tires are really geared towards getting the most amount of fuel efficiency. So you can go with that, because I know usually the stock reds run flats are trash. I hated all of them on all my three Infinities. I hated it. I hated those tires. Even going with Chinese tires was like so much of a better ride. You can go with a tire that's more fuel efficient, but at that point, it's 400 horsepower car, man. Come on, come on, come on. And you said throttle body and mass airflow. You shouldn't have any mass airflow problems, and you really shouldn't have any throttle body problems. Congrats, man. Much love, Joseph. I'm looking for a Q60, Bobby. I got plenty of videos talking about Q60s. Depending on which Q60 you want. Like, do you want the G37 Q60 version, or do you want the VR30 one? Yep. Mm-hmm. Hey, I've been thinking about getting a 2020 Q50 RS or a 2020 Mustang GT. I live in a hot climate and it'll be my daily. I just thinking about what you prefer. I don't need four seats. Well, if you don't need four seats, then don't look into a Q50 RS. Look into a Q60. Because if you're talking about cross shopping, someone looking for a Q50 is not cross shopping for Mustang GT. So look into the Q60. That will probably be more on your radar for what you want. Now, you said you live in a hot climate. I'm still a car person and I care about modability. The only benefit that I see with going with the Q60 over, this is personal preference, Q60 over the Mustang is one. To me, it's the better looking car. I know it has softer lines. I know it might be more of a girly car, some people would say, but I would say the Q60 to me is the better looking coupe. Two, if you do get an all-wheel drive one, this is pretty good because there'll be more controllability or control in having an all-wheel drive system. And then I would leave it there. I wouldn't really add much more else. The reason why is freaking Mustang GT is freaking a cheater car, okay? It has a V8, has really good sound. It does have a little bit more features, like you could have, I think, vented or cooled seats in that on those cars. Depending on the active exhaust you get, it comes stock with a lot more. You can have the PP version. You have the six pistons in the front, and that's essentially you could get that 10-speed auto or that 6-speed manual. Both really good transmissions, with the exception of the newer ones. I believe they had the aluminum shift forks that kept on breaking, but I think they had a recall on that. Um, and then when we talk about modability, wanting to make the car fast, whew, I'm telling you guys right now on video, it is cheaper to make a Mustang GT fast. Way cheaper. You spend $4,000 or $5,000 on a supercharger, and the car is already making like 650 will. 4 or 5 grand invested, it's like 650, 700 will. You don't need to do a transmission tune or anything like that. And the car will take the abuse and you'll make hella power, and the car is pretty light. Um, and then once again, it makes good noises. So in the performance realm, I gave it to the GT, and it does come with a little bit more better standard features. But this one's really gonna have to be up to you and what you want to do with the car. If it was up to me as a daily driver, once again, I like all-wheel drive, and I think the Q60 is a better car in my personal preference. But if you wanted to get something that's once again a still a good daily driver, but then also you can make even more performance, I would say the Mustang. That's just my opinion. Congrats, man. Thank you so much, Joseph. Yo, Boost, you think the Q60 is the best all-wheel drive coupe around 2025? Nah, nah, I don't think so. Because in my personal opinion, like I don't think so. Like I think Lexus made some nice nice coupes. Audi has some nice coupes out there too. I would even say Mercedes coupes are not that bad. Like at some point, that even the more expensive luxury brands, they got depreciated too. So depending on the year you get, sometimes you get the name on top of it, but then also you sometimes they have better standard features too. So I would say, in my opinion, the Q60 VR30 is one of the best looking coupes on the market still for now. Like there are still nice coupes that come out, but for the the price point it's at, there's not much other cars that can match the look of the Q60. Not many. But I can't say it's the best. Did you watch the Tokyo Drift? If so, did you like the movie? I mean, Tokyo Drift? Nah, man. No. The Tokyo Drift was like an oblong. Like it was just random. They just threw it, and it's like they never brung back or finished that story. Like it's like it was like, hey, listen, let's just make something different and see where we can try to go with this franchise. And it didn't go anywhere. So to me honest, like it didn't fall into the whole um Fast and Furious lane at all. Period. They could have skipped it, but it had its place. That's just my opinion. What up? What's going on? Bitcoin BMW in the chat. What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy New Year, brother. I'm going to get a Q50 really soon now that I got the house out the way. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to you once again. Congratulations on that house, White. Sorry, a little follow up. I work in a shop and I do a lot of work on my car myself. Was hoping to do a Q60 baby GTRL, but if you got any other ideas, let me know. Well, it really depends on what you want to do. Like, if you want to make 600 wheel On a VR30, it's definitely possible. Under $10,000 invested, about you have about 600 wheel horsepower. Don't try to aim for 650, 700. Don't kill yourself. Pure turbo, E85, fuel pumps, and a tune. And of course, heat exchanger and catback exhaust. But yeah, 600 wheel, and that's it. That's pretty much baby GTR territory. And you would just leave it at that. Don't do much more after that. Don't aim for, I want to make 700, 800. Just get used for the car at that point. That's it. Thank you for the answer to my question. By the way, huge congrats on the new car, man. Appreciate that, SLG. Appreciate that. Thank you for answering my questions. I'm sorry. Last thing, this was a lot of smoke coming to the point that it got in the cabin. I left my car running that night before with the AC on and could have caused more condensation. Well, I don't know about the smoke coming in the cabin. What? Whoa. Now you see, this is what makes live suck, because it's like I'm just giving you my honest opinion, because based on what you told me, your car has no resonators, no cats. So it's just a straight catback exhaust. So all those smokes from the turbos and all that heat condensates inside the exhaust. But you said it's coming in the cabin. But what does it smell like? Does it smell? It's gonna smell bad because you have no cats. So, or I think you said you had no resonators, no muffler. So it should still smell like just like water vapor. It should just be warm mist. Like it still may smell like some kind of exhaust. I don't want you passing out, dying behind your car. Please don't do that. But you would, when you've been in a car game for a while, you'll know when the car is eating coolant, because you'll notice that it kept on the level of the coolant keeps going down, and then you'll smell a sweet. You'll see more thick white smoke coming from the back exhaust, thick white smoke, and it'll smell sweet. Or if it's eating oil, you will see a blue tint from it. Blue tint, and your oil level will start going down too. So that's really the best I can give you, honestly. Better gas mileage indeed. Yeah, man. That's what I told you, Mayo, man. Like you really can't do nothing, bro. Question: how much wider can I go with tires if I'm on OEM 255 wheels with 255 40? Not much, J4. If you have the 19-inch wheels, you can only go like 265 40, bro. If it's like on a 9-inch wheel, only like 265 40. Well, remember the 40 is just percentage of the 260, 265. But that's pretty much it. Uh, um, and plus, sometimes it doesn't even make sense to even go that much wider, because let's say the 255 40 tire is like 110, right? And the 265 40 is like 145. It doesn't make sense to spend all that extra money just to go 10 millimeters wider. Doesn't make sense. Does it go away? Okay, yeah, okay. He's answering the question for him. Okay, the smoke was white. Good signs means that your head gasket isn't shot. My buddy has a WRX. Yo, did anyone catch, what is it? Donut Media's please. And did anyone catch Donut Media's STI challenge or WRX challenge? They had a high car, low car comparison, and they blew like 8 motors. Did anybody see why? I feel sorry. I know I have some of you guys who have STIs or WRXs, but that video literally showed me that those motors are effing trash. Like I've been saying it. I don't know. Like there's like a freaking insane amount of people who love those cars. I love the sound of those cars, but that is one car I think that people who love cars should not get. Unless you are the type of person that likes to work on cars and you're very handy and capable, do not get an STI WRX. Don't get those cars. They blew 8 motors on those cars, and those cars didn't make no crazy power or nothing. And their motors blew before they even put the turbo on it. Insane. Curry shot, man. Curry shots in the chat. Much love, much love, much love. Happy New Year, brother. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Boost. This is a what? A sin for New Year. What's up, peoples? Also, congrats to MG. I went to Brooklyn or Brooklyn Alls. I wish the 95 was in my budget. Yes. 95 to 96 supers are ridiculously expensive, 70, 80K. And thank you so much, Curry Shot, for the $5 super chat. Much love. I'm sorry I didn't see it on the thing. I would have definitely shouted you out earlier, man. 10-speed GTs are insane. Yup. Um, was white smoke? Okay, he's answering the question. He's answering me. Was white smoke? Okay. Causes the white smoke, so it wouldn't be the same. Okay, I'm very confused if that's towards me. So S550 with a PP1 And a 401A package will be a dream daily if I didn't need all-wheel drive. Mhm. Mhm. And anyone who read S550, he's not talking about Mercedes. He's actually talking about the Mustang because you can call Mustangs S550s for that specific year. Um, uh, I mean, PP2s are like the damn near the same thing too. I don't know what the difference is between PP1 and PP2s. I never found out the difference between the two. Um, okay, 5.0. Thanks for your input, bro. Really appreciate it. I kind of leaning towards a Mustang because the interior looks way better than Infinity. Really? Nah, son. Nah. That's the one point I may not agree. Like, nah, I don't like that. Nah. I gotta stick. Other than the Infinity having two screens, I think the interior in the Q50, a Q60, Q50 is not that bad. Like, like compare, like unless you get like the Recaro type of racing seats, I think you could get in the Mustang. Then I get it. But outside of that, it's like it's not all. It's okay. Like it's okay. Like it's okay. But it's like it ain't that much more better than the Infinity. Though. That's just my personal opinion. Now I gotta stick up for my Infinity people. I have a 2017 Q60 bought with 30,000 miles and 81,000 miles now. Ooh, original turbos, Gates belt, lower downpipes, AMS. Okay. When I got the car, I opted for an extended warranty. I'm assuming, right? I think he was extended warranty, covered it to 125,000 miles. Haven't had one problem with the car and never seen a tow truck. Should I keep it past 125 or get rid of it before then, before my luck runs out? Honestly, bro, this is a question that's up to you. Are you looking into getting another car soon? That's the question I asked you, bro. Are you looking to get another car soon? Because right now, depending on the car you want, I would still probably tell you to wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit longer. If you can wait 3 to 6 more months, prices are still correcting. They are still dropping. They're not going to be to the floor, but at least if you wait maybe another 4 to 6 months, the average price of the car you might be looking at may go down another 15%. 15% on $100,000 car could be like 15 grand. You know, or same thing if you apply that to a $50,000 car, So it's really up to you. But you're only at 81. Enjoy it, drive it. If your warranty is a mileage thing, drive the car, bro. Like if you have fun with it and you don't look back at it and you like I freaking hate this thing, like yo, keep driving it, man. Rock out. But if you know that you've been eyeing another car and you want to make that step, I would say start taking some of the modifications off. I've always take off my modifications because once I start taking off my modifications, it get me in the mindset of like, all right, I'm selling this car. I'm getting rid of it. So that's why you saw the Q60 go back to stock. That's why you saw the Q50 go back to stock. And that's why you saw the other Q50 go back to stock. The C63, I didn't really do much. I just took off the JB4 and intakes. So that's nothing really crazy there. I missed the question here. Drove a G37 for the first time yesterday, and I'm in love. It's a very comfortable car. Like it's for if you want a daily driver car right now with 300 horsepower and unnecessarily you just put oil in it, change your brake pads, and you don't have to really worry about much. Yeah, that's it. There's also aftermarket modules that can give you Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, so you can bring up, the functionality in the car. But outside of that, everything is pretty chilled in the car. You know, I definitely love and miss that car too. I had a 2007 G35X V. That would be the V36 one. I never got the V36 with the 3.7 in it. I went from that car right into a Q50. So I never really got a full-fledged G37. I had the G35X sedan. All right, cool. Let me see. Joseph, what's going on, man? You shot me out like 3, 4 times, man. I guess I'm missing when you actually type it in. Oil changes every 4,000 miles. All fluids will change 6K go. Tennessee weather conditions. Okay, got you. Blue is oil. Goodish Branford. Congratulations on new car. Thank you, Joseph. I'm sorry if I was late on the response, man. I do apologize. It's just been a minute since I've been on a live, so you guys know how I am. Anybody who knows me for years, I will answer all the questions and try my best to go through everything. Yeah, going back to 600 wheel when I seen it needed a heat exchanger, downpipe exhaust. Okay, that's my plan. But I was just wondering what starts to go bad after 600. Thanks again. The motor, the motor. Yep, the motor. Most people don't really have trans issues. It be mainly the motor. either start knocking, it's just honestly the motor because no one really pops the turbo. If they pop the turbo, it's because it was like a boost leak. So don't do no blow valves or shit like that. Like all the tuners, some of the best tuners in the platform, Sonic Tuned and Racebox said no, don't put blow valves on these cars. Don't touch that shit. Leave it this just leave it the way it is. But yeah, it'll be the motor because the car does take a lot of torque. So people start making them pure turbos and they start beating on the car, beating and beating and beating it. So will be the motor, or because you're running on E85, you'll lose an injector. The injectors, once again, they are Nissan injectors. They're not the best, most reliable injectors. So once again, you might run into an injector that might fail because you're running higher boost. You need certain amount of E85, so that happens too. But outside of that, yeah, you're pretty good. What? Why would a Q50 Q60 be burning oil? That's a good question, Garcia. I gotta get back on these questions. How far am I from that? Okay, let me make this fast. They will be burning oil because the piston rings went bad. That's it. The motor started for whatever reason you've been beating on the car. The car doesn't have an efficient engine oil cooling system. It's not efficient. This car only takes about 5.5 to 6 quarts compared to, like, let's say a C63 which has 9 to 10 or 9 quarts compared to an S55 Mustang which have like 10 quarts of freaking oil it takes. A lot of the most high performance vehicles take a lot of oil, but this one takes like regular. So it's not really the best system. And because of the excess heat, metal starts to weaken and you might burn up your piston rings. Shit happens, man. Shit happens. It's not a race motor, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. It's just not a race motor. So don't beat on this car like it's a race motor. If it's a 3.7 VQ, beat on that bitch. But if it's a VR, you can't beat on it all the time. Coming from me, I had two of them. Hey, Boost, I saw this high-low series. They gone through 8 motors and I think 3 or 4 cars. Yeah, yeah. They went through 3 cars. You're right. You had to buy a whole nother freaking WRX, man. I never owned STI because of their video. Z? Exactly. Mm-hmm. Left, yeah, funny series. STI isn't as bad as the WX engine in terms of reliability. I mean, I would assume the STI is a little bit better, but it's still pretty trash the way they take the beat and boost. What are your thoughts on Tesla? I have one as a rental, and it was a Tesla from hell. Laugh loud. Car cut off on me at 40% in the right lane on the highway. Thank God. Wow, that's random. That is random. It depends on the Tesla, and I've honestly still haven't driven one. I've only been in the passenger seat. I see where its place is in the car community. It is an eco box car. That's it. It's from point A to point B, and you don't want to use gasoline. It has its place. Um, I don't People who usually get like the Tesla Plaid or even a Lucid, like, once again, no disrespect to anyone's watching live. We're just regular people here, but I'm just talking my shit. The person that gets like a Lucid Air isn't a car enthusiast. That's not a car enthusiast to me. A person that go get a Lucid Air is someone who's more on the side of like, "Oh, I don't want to deal with gasoline. I kind of want to have the best tech." They want their car to be like the iPhone of cars. So they get a Lucid Air or a P, whatever it is, or Tesla bad. They want that. That's the type of things they get. Like, I still know people who have like a Tesla Plaid, but then they also have like a Hellcat or something else that, because they have the Tesla Plaid as like their daily driver. They're like, okay, I just plug it into the house. This is my lifestyle, and I know I want to still always have a fast car. But those people are very rare. Like, a Tesla Plaid owner is not a car enthusiast. There's a small percentage of Tesla Plaid people who are cars enthusiasts. Like, I just don't see it. I just don't personally see it. But that's my opinion. Boost. I'm 60 man swapping a yeah, you got it, man. Wades, you got it. There's a couple people who already 6P manual swapped their 3.7 Q50. So you won't be the first one. You will not be the first one. Trent, what's going on, Trent? Much love. Thank you always again, Trent, for showing love to the channel, man. Thank you for always showing your love and support on the IG too, bro. I know Trent for years now, man, and I helped him build his car. Unfortunately, he ran into some reliability issues with his car, so I think he may be leaving the gang. But once again, man, I appreciate you, Trent. Tesla Model 3. Once again, it has its place. I wouldn't even get the dual motor Tesla Model 3 because it's like almost double the price. You can pick up 5 cars in any price, but you had to keep all five for 10 years. What cars are you picking? Yo, Jordan asking me some crazy questions. All right, don't make fun of me. All right, he said I could pick any cars, any price. All right, so Porsche 918, like that's it. Like Porsche 918, that's it. That one, I'm keeping that car like forever. The next car would be, you're gonna laugh at me when I say these cars. So don't laugh at me, please. Just don't laugh. I'm gonna actually pick an Infinity. Yep, I'm gonna pick an Infinity. Um, I'm gonna pick a M. I don't want to say it like this. Damn, I'm gonna say it on video. I don't care. I don't care. I'll pick an M56 all-wheel drive, fully specced out with the rear wheel steer, fully specced out. I always wanted those cars. That car, I would just have that car. I wouldn't drive it much, but I just fully specced out. Not in the pre-facelift one, like the 2011, the 2012 one with the aero kit. Like it's pretty much the Fugo, whatever it is overseas. I love that car so much, but I just never got the balls to get one over here. But that's one car I would keep forever because you said five, so I could just go a little low. I would say the next car would be, damn, you said any car though. Shit. So another car would be the E90. Was it the E90 M3? Um, and I've always loved that car too. Definitely always loved that car. That car to me was one of the dream cars I've always wanted to get, but the reliability isn't there for me to touch it. But I've always wanted to get one. It sounds amazing. I know it isn't fast. It's not godly, but there's something about that car out of all the M cars that I just think it's like right there. Like it's right there. It's like the last bit right before it went with turbos and shit. Like I like that car. So that's three cars. Two more cars. I gotta aim really high now. Well, I already aimed high. Hmm. It'll probably what is it? SVJ? The Lamborghini SVJ, right? It should be that one if I'm pronouncing it right. Lamborghini SVJ. And I'm trying to make it diverse. So what other car? I already got my four-door Infinity. Yeah, I said Infinity. I don't care. You could judge me all you want. I would say this one's hard for me. Because I want to say a truck, right? I really want to say a truck. I really like the older Land Rovers. Like from like the one with the tire like at the front or the back. Oh, I forgot what it was. I think it was a Land Rover. I really loved those trucks. Like I would get that and I'll whip that shit. Like I don't know why I'm saying this, but like I've always loved the look of those cars. I would like to get that car too. Like of course it would have to be immaculate. But like I just wanted to give you like a diverse amount of cards that I could like keep for like 10, 5. You said 5 to 10 years. Like I would have those diverse cards. Like that to me is like super cool. But I know my car list is super weird. But once again, that was a weird question. But I appreciate that, Jordan. I never really knew I was all over the place with that one. Oh, Rock, I appreciate the super sticker, brother. Much love. I appreciate you very much. A Coyote with a VMP kit is nasty. 100% SR boosted junkie. Once again, SR, I appreciate you, man. You've been banging with your boy Boost for a good minute too, man. Much love. Thanks for the information. I mean they're both outdated, so I get it. All right, let me speed up because I know I got into my whole like thing. I'm looking to get into a G37 or Q50 with a 3.7, but would getting one with 100,000 miles be a good idea? Yes, that's it. It's okay. It's okay. First thing, I would okay. I say yes, but let me just quickly explain. Q50 with 100 grand, it's fine. G37 with 100 grand though, depends on the year. If it's like the 2013, 2014 and up G37, you might be okay because you don't have to deal with the gallery gasket issue. Look into this. But if it's like a 2008 G37 or $100,000, you can still get it. The car is gonna be reliable. Like it'll be okay. Like there's plenty of G37s out there. But we're a car enthusiast channel, so that means that you're gonna be beating on the car. If you're gonna be beating on this car, guess what? It's gonna beat on you back, and it's gonna have a gallery gasket issue. Everybody runs into it when they really start beating on the 3.7 on the G37. So I would recommend, if it was up to me, get the Q50. 3.7 with 100K, because at least you don't have to deal with that issue. That's my recommendation. Okay, cool. Boost. Just boy. You can get AC. I'm sorry for answering you so late. Damn, how far am I back? Damn, 10 minutes. I'm gonna speed up. AC downpipes. Honestly, is up to you. If you get a lower downpipe, um, all the brands are the same. I'm telling you straight up. Anyone's watching, I know people don't like what I say this, but a lot of these pipes are the same. The lower down pipes are made from pretty much reputable companies, and no one's really had issues with any brand. So pick your poison there. If you want to go with a full down pipe, I'm not going to say go full catless. I still don't recommend full catless, but I recommend PLM for the price point. It's really good. PLM, full catted downpipe. If not, go with the more expensive. Go with the AAM competition full catted downpipe. A reason why I like the AM is because number one, they sponsor the channel, but number two, they actually use cast material rather than stainless steel or whatever for the downpipe. So it's actually better for the heat cycle and everything like that. All right, what are your thoughts about BMW 850 90 can hit 600? You can get them for 60K. Which 850? You can get an 850 for 60K? Nah, you lying, bro. AOKO, you lying, man. Stop playing with me, bro. Like you messing, you gotta be lying. I'm about to look it up right now. You can't get no 850 A series for 60K. It's gonna fall apart. Think about what you're saying. Well, 1 second, guys. Listen, I'm gonna do this thing live on video. Watch. I'm really banging with you guys tonight, man. I'm chilling with y'all. So you saying 850? I'm assuming the new M850i, right? That's the one I'm assuming you talking about. So give me a second, and we're gonna do a screen share. You said the M850. Yo, man, got it here. Why is it not here? Why is it not? Because I went to 6 series. Oh, you said 8. I always confuse these two damn cars, the 8 series and the 6 series, man. I always confuse these freaking cars. All right, you said the I'm gonna go for the X Drive. X Drive Coupe. Matter of fact, I like Grand Coupes. I'm more of a Grand Coupe person. Cool. You said 60K. You lied, bro. There ain't no 60K for these cars. Like I'm looking at it right now. I'm looking at it right now, bro. They don't. You lying, bro. Let me see. Share screen. Share right now. There's no. There's no for 60K. We gonna go for the cheapest one, lowest price. M850. Let's see. Oh shit, you right. My fault. My fault, KO. I apologize. I apologize, bro. I apologize. You telling the God honest truth, bro. I'm sorry. I feel stupid. All right, he wasn't lying. What I think about these cars, I'm not a fan of the N63 motor or N65 motor. Is it the N65 or N63 motor they have in this? I'm not a fan of it. But these cars are pretty fast. I think it's definitely better than the older N63 motors. This is like the TU N63 TU motors or whatever that's in these cars now. I mean, 60,000 not bad. And then you could get and then they're pretty fast with a tuning downpipe. It's pretty much faster than the M8s. So it's really up to you. The Grand or Grand Coupes. There's I'm still not touching it though. Personally, I still wouldn't touch it. I'm just not a fan of their motors. Their motors are good, like they're fast, but there's so much recalls that happen with them. It's like they never. Once I did my research, they never fixed up those cars. What I also want to say on video too is that I was looking at M8s. I was looking at M8 Grand Coupes and M5s, and the only reason I chose not to is because once people started, like even people doing like E50 on stock motor and stock turbos, they ended up running into either motor issues or some people even had slight trans issues. So I was like, nah, I'm good. Mm-mm. But those cars are fire. I mean, maybe I think the car's dope, but I don't know, man. I can't recommend it. I don't want people to go get that car and be like, damn, this N63 motor messed up. But anyways, let me get to answering the questions. Trent 3.7 reliable, easily 150K as long as okay, cool. Thank you, Kig Biggs. I appreciate you. Just got my cartoon by Racebox, Driven Motorsports, Mishimoto, Low Bound Pipes, 93 made from okay, cool. What can I do to get to 500 wheel horsepower on 93? Q50 Kenny, what's going on, man? Much love. Thank you for love. Thank you for writing that comment. So you already got your car tuned. You already made one big mistake, and I'm gonna tell you what the mistake is. You should have also built up for E85 too. That's it. You should have did built up for 85. So you should have gotten. You could have run an E30 mix, but for you to get to a consistent 500 wheel horsepower, you have to run full E85. That could be quite expensive, and the car being not as reliable. But I would also add this part here. You also have shout out to Elite Performance and Bonnie and Clyde Racing. You can choose to go with a full air to air kit if you want to too. Air to air kits on average give you another 20 to 30 more wheel horsepower on depending on the type of fuel you're on. So that might be something that might be a little bit easier for you to do rather than run into possible reliability issues with going on full E85, especially that New York City, we don't have as much E85 stations. So that might be something you consider. And anything past that, you got to go with turbos, bro. And at that point, you're making 550, 600 wheel. So it's really up to you. Excuse me. It's really up to you. They said most cars don't make that much on 93 and lower downpipes. That's true. Especially they have a hub bearing there. I think they have a hub dyno too. Yo, locks. But okay. You need the boost juice, Kenny. Bro, I'm from Russia. How do you feel about the war in Ukraine and Russia? I'm not really a politics person, and I really can't speak on things going on so much in the world because honestly, I'm not Ukrainian and I'm not Russian. I know they've always had tensions. I know it deals with NATO, United Nations, and these people want this land and these people have this influence. At the end of the day, it's unfortunate that people that they have to go through that. But what I don't like, in my honest opinion, is I'll just say once again, I'm probably gonna be subjective saying this. I don't like that the US keeps funding so much of our money that we have to pay back with high interest, and it continues to affect our own economy, how we spend. And I'm not saying not only on what we spend it on, but like not saying we're not supposed to help Ukraine or not help Ukraine. I understand we have an alliance with them, but man, they're throwing so much money and we're bleeding it. And once again, I just really wish the US sometimes can stay out of some people's affairs and just let them do what they need to do. But it is what it is, man. I just it's unfortunate. More fuel, more power, more air, cool. Speaking of manual swap in Q50, anyone do a 6 speed manual swap and stay all drive? It's not possible. SLG, it's not possible. Not saying that money can't fix these type of things, but the way that the Infinity's like all drive system works and stuff like that, that's not how it would really work. Like it's not like if it was compared to like more like an Audi all-wheel drive where they can have a 6 speed manual and a all-wheel drive system because their transfer case and or their transmission is designed with that. So all the power and everything is going through the front and back. All four wheels are moving at the same time. But because we have a transfer case which decouples which will go rear wheel drive or depending on the ABS and slip, it would actually turn that on and it would spin the front axles and everything. It's totally different system. So it's really not possible. Now 2020 or 2020 M40 would get one at the end of the year. Lee, as I said, man, I would recommend the M340. 440, not so much, man. The front bumper is ugly. I'm sorry. The 4 Series bumper is too damn ugly. I wouldn't recommend it. Like, if you're gonna get a 4 Series, I don't want you getting an M car, but that freaking ugly ass front bumper, man, on the 4 Series is killing me. Now I'm gonna say it again too. I'm gonna put this out there too. Sorry, I don't give a fuck if someone's offended. Yeah, I cursed. All the new BMWs are ugly. Other than like the 3 Series, all the ones with the huge freaking grill and the trucks, whatever, whoever's designing those freaking BMWs and whoever's buying them, they're just buying it for the name brand. It's like Balenciagas. Like, you're buying it for the name brand. No disrespect from people. I know y'all work hard for your money. You like your clothes or whatever. But I'm saying, at some point, it's ugly, bro. Like the X7 and X5 or whatever they have coming out. Those things are ugly because of the freaking big front bumper. The big front grill, bro. It's freaking ugly. And then they have the digital LCD screen as like the door to open up the door and roll up the windows. It's stupid, man. All these stupid. Why? Why are we having like so much like was it haptic steering wheels and stuff, like where things like it's not necessarily touch, but it's touch. It's not an actual button. I hate these freaking things, man. Some of this technology is unnecessary, and all I think about is in the future, this is something I have to fucking replace. I'm sorry, man. I'm still an old dude. I'm 35, man. I miss actual buttons and knobs. Sorry, man. I figured, thank you, man. Dreaming about it. Okay, cool. What do you think about the best sounding production car of all time? Whoa, whoa, whoa. You already know it's like a V10. I'm being honest. Like, you know, it's already a V10. That's it. But I would say something super weird. I think it's the S600, like early, either late 90s or early 2000 S600, because it had that V10, or is it, I think it's the V10 race motor in it, and you just put the headers on that bitch and it sounds just like a F1 car. I would say that car when it has the headers on it. I believe it's a V10 and like a S600. And all the other cars really just sound freaking amazing, but it has to be a V10. All the V10s to me sound freaking amazing. I feel you in my car. Cool. Oil pan is necessity on if longevity, but okay, cool. So thank you for M240 for letting me know about that. So they had to get the baffled. Excuse me. They have to get a baffled oil pan, because when when you taking high, when you go through the corners at high cornering speed, the oil in the oil pan would actually go to one side, and because the siphon would pretty much not be sitting in the oil, the engine would actually drop in oil pressure, and boom, there goes your motor. So I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. M240. I'm sorry I didn't include that. Thank you for reminding me of that. SVJ is one of the best cars that the V10, her 700. Good choices. Subarus are like the German Volkswagen in terms of reliability. Would you ever go back to VR30 Q50? Nah, nah, I can't. I'm not saying I can't. It's just it would probably be something that was like a rental car or something, or like maybe my shorty like wanted to get one to drive one or something, or like I got one for super cheap and I did some wild shit to it, like I did some YouTube stupid shit to it. Like, you know how YouTubers do stupid fucking things? They do dumb things like, oh, I'm gonna just shoot nitrous on it, or I'm gonna go single turbo or some wild nonsense on it. But I wouldn't see myself doing it. You have a better chance seeing me hop back in a 3.7 Q50 or a Q50 hybrid. What a boost. I had an engine code pop up on my VR30 P016. Something about my map sensor. Any tips? Only got an axle back. The map sensor, so yes, if is it a code that stays on the car? Like, does it stay there forever, Ken? Or not? Because like sometimes these cars could have intermediate check engine light. So it just was like randomly the battery was at low voltage and you started it and you got a random check engine light because it wasn't enough electricity going through the system. But if it's affecting performance, then you might just have to change the map. You said it's the map sensor. Yeah, you just might just have to change the map sensor. I believe they sit right there, one on the left and one on the right. Might just be a map sensor. You could buy them. You could buy it used if you want. They're pretty cheap on the used market. I don't know if you want to buy it new, but if it's affecting performance, then it needs to be replaced. But I'm not familiar with it though. That boy looking fresh. Appreciate that, beast. How do you inspect the gallery gasket issue before purchasing? I might beat on it. Honestly, there's really no way. You're kind of screwed. You would you would have to pretty much lift the car up and install a pressure gauge for the oil. I believe it would have to connect between the oil filter and the engine, and you'll have to put a pressure gauge there, and then you'll actually have to rotate the motor by hand off the crankshaft and see how much the oil pressure goes up. That's a lot of work. But pretty much it's already been known that like that the VR30 the VQ37s like 2013 and older, they'll run good. But if you start beating on them, you're gonna run into the gallery gasket issue. Yo, I'm lying if I'm flying. Ain't no way M50 is the price range. I'm actually shocked. Yeah, man, I was shocked. Thank you, man. Y'all surprised me with the M850s at that price. But you could get a M550 for like 50K. I know I seen M550s for like 50 or 40K. Okay, yep, the TU motor. You're right. Got to dip. You got to dip. How everyone. I boosted junkie. Appreciate you. Yeah, what's going on, Tommy? Best JDM swap for a G35. Why would you do a JDM swap though? Just do LS, bro. Pastor, just do LS, man. Like so, like at this point, there's no like I saw another YouTube talked about it. Like, there's no point of being different now. Like, there's so much stuff that was already done. You might as well just go with what's the most reliable. Like, yeah, you put a 2J in your G35. Cool, right? It'll work. People do it, but you know, it's also going to deal with 2J problems. 2Js are actually pretty reliable motors from what I've been reading, but ain't nothing better than the LSV8, man. You ain't got to deal with as much issues in turbos. And then also at any point, then you can add turbos. That's the best thing about going LS. You could just be like, you know what? Let me go add a turbo. You go single turbo, or you can go twin turbo, or you can go supercharged. So that's why I would say just go to LS route. It's way easier and more common, and reliability is there. The 2J is just too much headaches. The MA50 needs an instant aftermarket crank hub. They have the crank hub issue on those cars on the N63s. I didn't know that. I thought that was only the S55s. You sure? Brand new M50 is literally 160K in Arabia where I live. Damn. What? What? Well, I mean, I'm assuming because y'all probably have to pay different taxes. Because I know some cars that are cheaper in the U.S. than they are overseas, certain places, which is weird. Those either are solid. I saw an auction with 200,000 miles. Just got to take care of the transmission. What are the best exhausts you recommend for the VR30? Alvin GTR. My recommendation, I'm not gonna pick best exhaust for performance. I'm gonna pick best exhaust for sound. I think Vast Intentions make some good sounding exhaust. I'm still gonna throw AAM competition out there because they sponsored me, and also, they revised the exhaust recently, and it sounds really good. And I would say the best kind of budget exhaust that sounds good is Nvidia. Nvidia. Oh nah. Stock ones got a reg. Okay, appreciate that. Yo, I've been really answering these questions. How much did the cost you? How many miles? I have 34,000 miles and the car was in the 80s, 80K. Tommy, I guess 60, 65 range. In your opinion, what's the best first couple mods for your 2060 Q60? I would say World, you should get heat exchanger. That's the first modification. Get a heat exchanger. It's a pre-owned used car, so start doing some maintenance. Oil changes, rediff, regular maintenance stuff, nothing crazy. After that, I would say downpipes, cat back of your choice, and then a tune. All right, cool. BMW off the Yerkes and moment. Bear with me, guys. Damn, you guys really were commenting, bro. I'm sorry if I'm late on the answering. Cool. Okay, cool. Boost speaking the truth. Appreciate that, Williams. Isn't a G Day faster than BMW today? Is it? Or was a CS was? I thought the CS what? Oh, you mean like modified stock? Like I would say modified stock, like modified. Yes, 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 yes. The BMW G80, yes, it is. Yep, because you can get an M5 to have similar times, but the M5 gonna break. M5 is gonna break. That you could get M5s in the nines, but they're gonna break. So like, yeah, I did it, but then I don't work anymore. But the G80 is doing it out without breaking. Mm-hmm. On track, maybe. Alpina is faster technically, top speed anyways. Alpina is nice. I really wish they came out with the Alpina. I saw that they made a Alpina of the G80 overseas. A boost. If you hit 150K by 2024, would you agree to buy a VR30 swap? Would you buy a VR30 swap a Q50? No. No. I don't think it would make any sense. To VR30 swap a Q50, I wouldn't see the sense in it. The motor itself is gonna cost more than the car, in my personal opinion. You don't think so? Ken? Like that the VR30 of the VR38 motor is probably what 15-20K. It's gonna cost the price of the car, and then of course you're gonna have to swap it in. I'm gonna probably have to use the same transmission. I would want to use a dual clutch transmission. So I would want to somehow be able to put that transmission in there because there's no point in trying to use a 7 speed with it. Um, but remember, the Infinity did something. Remember, they had the 7 speed transmission with the VR38, which was so stupid. I don't know why they did that. But it would probably be a VR38 with like a manual. That would be the most sense. But then even then, like what transmission would I use? So nah, I wouldn't do it. Tuned for high speeds. Alpina is supposed to be more comfortable, honest with you guys. Those are really more of the comfortable cars, bro. Super comfortable. Uh-huh. Okay. Reset it doesn't feel performance. Okay, cool. Fastest 2020 M50 is the same motor going for. Okay. Yo, Alan, what's going on? Is the gallery gasket something that can be fixed, or would it need to be replaced at the engine point? Trent, yeah, you can fix it on the motor. You'll pull the motor out, or you'll take off the front part of the front bump and rally support, and take off the timing components and change it yourself, or you drop the motor and do it. But honestly, you can avoid this by just getting like a 2014 Q50 or like a 2014 Q40, and then you won't have to deal with it at all. Yeah, we probably have to pay 20% tax, to import it. We still have two price, I set to replace the engine. Bear with me, guys. I'm just going through the comments. I'm trying to catch up now. Ken Block just died. What? What did you just say? Nah. Nah. What? Ken Block did not just die. Don't play me, bro. Yo! Stop playing, man. Are you dead? Ken Block died at 55, yo? Damn, he was killed in a snowmobile accident on Monday. It regrets the deepest regrets that we can confirm that Ken Block passed away in a snowmobile accident today. Ken was a visionary, a pioneer. Damn, man. Ken Block just died, bro. Damn, man. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I mean, I'm not a fan of his, but he's someone I'm used to looking at. He's another fellow car enthusiast. Damn. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, guys. I ain't gonna cry or anything. It's just it's people you look at, man. These are people we look at, we enjoy watching, and they passed away. And it seemed like it was an accident too. Damn. Damn. All right, I try to keep going with the conversation, bro. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, man. That was definitely that threw me off. Boost, is there any additional word on other companies making air-to-air intercoolers? And would you buy a new Z? I've been looking for a Z, and Nissan has completely screwed us, guys. Nissan has screwed us, and what I mean by they screwed us is they literally are bringing out 2022 models in 2023. Man, I'm serious. Like, wait, is it? Well, whatever. They messed up. They messed up. Wait. I think the 2022 model is actually 2023 models. Wait, the Proto Z was supposed to be 2022 model, and people still haven't got their Proto Z. So that's basically 2022. The sport and performance are supposed to be 2023 models. Whatever, screw it. They haven't got the car in stock, so I don't care anymore. And as of what I know right now, I don't know anything. If anybody makes air to air for this car, if I ever do it in the future, AMS is probably going to do it. I think they would. Not worth it. VR30 swap. Congrats on the new purchase. Thank you, Mr. Wavy. Did the VR30 leave a bad taste in your mouth? Just curious as to why you would hop back on 3.7, but not the 3.0T. Pulling puppet strings. To be honest with you, I had two of them, bro. I had the Q50 and the Q60. Like, I love my Q50 and I love the looks of the Q60. But I know the glass ceiling with those cars. Like, I know the glass ceiling. And if you want a cool car that can do 450 wheel, I think that car is perfect for that. Like I think it's perfect for right around that territory. But I was personally bitten by the V8 bug. So so that's kind of one of the reasons why. But also the reason why I would get a 3.7 is because I would actually not want to deal with turbos on that car. Because I know if I got another Q50 3.0T, it's not to make it faster or anything like that. It's to just have it as like my daily driver with small amount of modifications. And even then, I'll be like, I know these turbos gonna have to, depend on the reliability. I'm like, I could just get a 3.7 and just beat on it all day. Like I noticed with the 3.0T, I didn't beat on the car as much. But the 3.7, whenever I wanted to, I would rev that bitch to the moon. I always rev my Q50 to the moon. 3.7. I will go through the I did not care. And I didn't have to worry about nothing. I missed that about that car. But the 3.0T, not saying that it wasn't there. It's just that with the 3.0T, you enjoyed the power more mid to low range because that's where you get the most amount of torque. You didn't really care to like rev it out. At least that's what I ended up dealing with. Just wanted to see someone release a video with a 2,000 horsepower cube. Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna do that. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of goddamn money. For real. Uh huh. Damn, man. My real name isn't even Ken. It only because it's my real name is Raleigh. What's going on, Raleigh? Sorry, Raleigh. But what's going on, Raleigh? Nice to meet you, man. Uh. Mm. Yeah, man. As we get older, man, I'm 35, guys. As I get older, the deaths just come more common now. More common. When I was 25, people weren't dying like this. At least I didn't know. Now, dropping like flies. You were saying earlier M5 will break. Do you think the Benz are more reliable? Well, Yash, I'm gonna find out. But I'm saying, motor wise, when I kept on researching the N63 motors before the TUs, they weren't as reliable. They had like 17 to 18 updated injectors and core packs. People just always had issues with it, especially with them throwing rods. So I'm saying I'm the type of guy to make big power, but on the N63 like TU motors, you get like a OTS tune or whatever on E50, and the car's making hella power, and people still, let's say, messed up their motor on stock turbos on running E. So I'm like, nah, I'm good, because I know it's so easy to do it. Like it's not much money invested to make the M5 very fast, without changing pretty much nothing, anything on the car. It's not much money invested, and it can still break. So we'll see about the E63S. So we'll see. We'll see. Any recommendations on rotors and pads? Not really, Patrick. Um, I'm more of a pad person. Rotors, I'd rather them just to be blanks. I don't really care for drill or slide or anything like that. I would rather pads. I would say Stop Tech, EBC, and Hawk 5.0 pads. I'm more of a fan of Hawk 5.0 pads more though. I'm way more of a fan of those pads. If we being honest, you'll say way more. If we being honest, you'll see way more 1,000 horsepower RS7s and E63s before M5s and M8s. Yo, KO, you be going. You be. Do you like BMWs? You sure? Because I'm saying you say you bring up the 850i, but I agree with you. How much 1,000 horsepower M5s y'all know? I'll wait. I'll wait. There's so much more. I'm saying if you wanted to look through YouTube and the forums, there are so much more people with 1,000 horsepower Audis and 1,000 horsepower, even E63s or even GT. Well, GT63 didn't get there yet, but even the older E63s, like those 5.5s, those cars are killers. Um, I see they're cutting the Q60 this year. They were supposed to cut the Q60 a year before then. They decided to just let it go for one more year. Do you think they're gonna bring it back? I don't know, Marcus. I don't know. Remember, they want to go. hybrid vehicles, and they care about crossovers. So Infinity wants to get money right now, and they've been consolidating a lot of the dealerships too, guys, recently. So a lot of dealerships are actually closing, depending on where it is in North America. Yep. So I see them putting a lot of time and energy into crossovers, and we'll see where they go from there. They ain't got the money to try anything new anymore. I see a bunch of 1,000 horsepower M5s. Really? I don't. I'm talking about like the ones that's out right now. I don't see a bunch of them. Or whoever has them is like either a performance shop because they could build it. Like, okay, let's be fair. Let's be fair to the M5s, right? And the S63 motors. The ones with the reliable ones put rods in it. That's it. They added rods. Because I believe that's what I remember reading. They'll take the motor apart and they'll just add rods. That is the best way to make the S63 more reliable so it can handle all that torque. The ZF 8 does pretty good. And you could build a ZF 8, and then that M5 is fast as hell and reliable. But if you want to go to certain amount power, they have to do the rods, bro. I don't see stock block 1,000 horsepower M5s, and if it does make it there, it ain't gonna stay there that long. That's my opinion. Anything else to look at when getting a used VQ37? Once again, the VQ37 is in a lot of different cars. We talking about Q50s, G37s, FXs. It's all amongst different vehicles, bro. Um, my personal opinion, if I was gonna go look at a G37 right now, I also look at I will still look at the title just to see if the car might have been in an accident. I'll look at uh the frame, like when you pop the hood, you'll look and see if there's any welds anywhere, any oil leaks, any fluid leaking on the belly, the understride or whatever. Like I'll try my best to see if there's any rust under the car. If there's still a lot of rust, to let you know if it's sitting in water. If you do have a sunroof, pull back the carpet to make sure none of the water is dripping under the seat mats, because you would hate to get a car that whenever it rains it leaks and it sits under the carpet. So you'll smell like a mildew smell or a moisture smell when you open the car door. You'll know what I'm talking about. VQ37s, man, like honestly, there's not too much else to really look at. The best thing that you can always do is just scan the car. Just scan the car with a regular OBD and just see if everything's ready. If it says it passed the missions and everything says okay or complete, at least you know the car was driven and there's really technically no issues. But if you scan the car and it says not complete, or not okay, or whatever, that means that they resetted the car and it may have a check engine light, and the car has to drive so that it could cycle to see if everything's complete. That's another thing that a lot of dealerships and people do. Have you done a good pull on E63 yet? Love the all-wheel drive acceleration. Yeah, I've done a pull on the car. I've done a pull on the car. You guys gonna I got videos dropping real soon. You guys gonna learn see a lot more of the E63 in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So definitely tap in. Company Evolve tunes them. Okay. Would getting a G37 that's already modded with 100K be a good idea? Depending on the year, but if it's a 2013 or if it's a 2013 or older one, maybe not. You know he beat it on the car. He or she beat it on the car. And I would hate for you to get it and already have to change the motor coming up soon. So that's really up to you, unless the price of the car is just so cheap. Like if you find a G37 coupe or sedan for like 5K, like it's affordable, then you could hop in it and do your thing. So if the motor goes, you could get these motors for like another $1,000 or $500 or whatever. I don't think of $500, but like you would want to get like a 2014 and up. So that motor is still like $1,500 to $2,000. So it's really up to you. Some of the things I already told you in the video. Just go check on the replay. But I have a video too, I think, on here when I was looking at a G37 drop top, and I actually went through the whole car from the start to finish and just was looking at certain things. So maybe that video could help you out a little bit too, to see some things if you want to look at. I seen them, right, honestly. Do you think Infinity will ever bring back the G37 name? Nope. Nope, they're not bringing back the nameplate. What do you think about the CTSV sedan? As I was talking about earlier, I said I like the ATS ATS-V. The CTS-V, I don't really care for the older V8 ones that are not supercharged. The newer ones, I think, are super dope for what it is. I just really I wish they didn't make them as heavy. Like they made them like more of a heavier vehicle, kind of in that Hellcat territory. So it kind of I think takes away from some of the love of it. But the CTS-V before this current one, the one where they made the station wagon, the coupe, and a sedan, I think that's the sweet spot. I think that CTS-V is the sweet spot because it's supercharged. You get four different ones or three different ones. Sorry, you get the coupe, the sedan, and the wagon. And I think that's one of the cars that I think will hold value for a very long time too. Not much people have those cars, and I think they're going to be pretty timeless in the future. What's a good spot to get sponsors? Start a YouTube. What's a good way to get sponsors? Start a YouTube. Patrick, to be quite honest, I've been in this platform for quite a long time. It depends on what you're doing. Honestly, look at the market and look at your competition. Um, I would say YouTube is a little different than any other like YouTube. Like, let's say if you're trying to like sell food or furniture or anything, that's a lot different. But like I would say car YouTube, it's a lot different, man. They're not gonna want to sponsor you. I mean, honestly, they're not. The reason being is you're starting off. You gotta earn your way, see that you're consistent, and then see if you're relevant in the community that you're in. So even with me, the only reason that I finally got like some sponsorships is because I had a couple of the people following my channel for a year or two. So AM competition was following me for a while. They saw me, they followed me for a while, and so I was continuing to grow. They saw the views, they saw that I have a certain amount of respect and love in the community. So they was like, you know what, let's work with this guy. But like when I hit up AMS, they didn't care. It is what it is. But I was also a smaller YouTuber. I'm still a small YouTuber. But I would say you have to go out there and put in the work, man. Nothing's supposed to be given to you for free. And honestly, another thing I would say is too, pay to play. Yo, it's okay. Buy the parts, pay full price. See that? Let them know, like, hey, listen, man, I bought your part. I'm really into it, but like, if you consider, like, let's collaborate with each other. Let me know, and then from there, they at least so that you actually invested. You know? Yeah, no, I know, White. I know. I was just talking about the Ken Block thing earlier, man. It got me in my little feelings a little bit, but RIP. The overall is not needed. Is there a reason Bonnie has it on their air-to-air kit? That's just what Bonnie and Clyde does. They put air to air. They put the blower valve on their vehicle. That's just a safeguard that they do. But I would say I recommend not doing so. Wonder if they will be making one without and filter so to go lower grade instead of the hood. I wouldn't know. Fuck with BMW. I don't really blindly ride the BMW. I the first point out of the SCV Blackwing 6-speed. I'm really not a fan of the CT5 Blackwing. I don't know. I'm gonna say it on video for everyone's watching. I think Cadillac fucked up by scrapping the CTS-Vs, pretty much all the Vs, and then coming back with the CT5 V Blackwing. Like I think it was stupid. Like I don't know why they did it. Like they just was like, let's scrap this whole CTS-V, ATS-V thing, and they brought back this. And I was like, this car isn't as sexy as the CTS-V and the ATS-V. For what they were worth, those cars were dope. But I guess they just could not compete with like their German counterparts. Like I used to love watching those videos. Like, man, comparing the rear-wheel drive M5 to the CTS-V to the rear-wheel drive E63. Like, it was good seeing this stuff. You know. Um, what's your option other than what you choose? I'm confused. Cornbread. What were your options other than the what you chose? Oh, if you're talking about the cars that I was looking at, GT63S or GT63, M5 Comp, uh, M8 Comp, and what was the other car? G80 Competition. G80 Competition, of course, overdrive. Those are the other options. I stay away from buying modded cars just for the safe. Okay, cool. I'm happy for you, bro. Can't wait to see a good video. VA, cool. Thank you, man. Can I use a HDMI dongle for so I can check the oil temps? I don't know, Trent. I do not know that part. I don't see why not. If you could be able to, if it's could be just a regular OBD, I don't see why not. That should be able to work if it could be used as a regular OBD checker. But of course, you can't technically tune the car until whatever. Um, you may be a smaller YouTuber, but you're the only one who has got a lot of helpful content in VR30. Thank you, Trent. I appreciate that. There's other people out there, man. It's definitely other people. I think I just came onto YouTube for this specific market at the right time, and I had two of the vehicles. I think if I had a Mustang, I think I'd did pretty decent too. If I had a Hellcat, I probably did really good if I had a Hellcat because like, Hellcat channels at one point, you get a Hellcat and you do absolutely nothing. Just go to Chick-fil-A, you'll have 100,000 followers. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to shit on any other YouTuber, but Hellcats, or as shout out to Mod the Fame said it. Mod the Fame said it, get more a more relevant car and your channel would explode. And he's right. Q50s may be driven by a bunch of people, but they're not car enthusiast cars. Like rare car enthusiasts. But when you're talking about the Hellcat, BMW, I mean, even 335i guys are pretty deep too. You know? Facts. Thanks for advice. No problem, Patrick. Have you seen people starting putting rear mounted turbos on 3.7? Yes. People have been doing it for at least 3 to 4 years now. Yes. Thoughts more reliable than a VR30, possibly. I would say yes. I would say. I'm saying on video. I'm not Mark. Yes. Rear mounted turbos are a little bit easier to install because you don't have to drop the motor. It's pretty much you just do everything. You just need the car lift or jack stands. You'll go single or twin, but it's usually best to go single, and it's easier to install and also take off at the same time. The tuning's already there for it. You just got to add in larger injectors, and of course, in the cooler, run the oil lines, which you can do, not too hard, and a lot of people do it. You just look up rear mounted G37s and 370Zs. It's the same thing, same thing. So it's definitely more reliable. It's just that after a certain amount of pounds of torque, though, that's the problem. Remember, the 7 speed on the Q50s, the 3.7 Q50s, they don't take as much torque. So you have to go with the VR transmission. So yeah, you could tune it for the amount of turbo, but you don't want to go too high with the amount of torque. Once again, this is up to your tuner. Your tuner doesn't have to tune you for a certain amount of torque or power. You can go get rear mounted turbo, and the turbo can make like 800 horsepower, but you just tune it to only make like 500, and you're okay. You know what I'm saying? But if you were like, let me start tuning to like 600 wheel horsepower on 93, he could try to still tune to keep the torque down, but the transmission will start slipping. That's a fact. Yep, that's a fact. My boy Boost definitely got helpful content. My belt via yeah, man. Yo, damn, 45 minutes, but I know the feeling, man. The Q60, I cut my hand up. It was too hard to change the belt. Are you gonna go make more videos EC3? I got you. Yo, Yusuf. The next 2, 3 weeks, guys. I'm saying it on video. The next 2, 3 weeks, pay attention to my videos I'm dropping. Okay? I'm just letting you guys know. Pay attention. Pay attention very clearly. I want you guys to keep up to date. So I know I may not get a bunch of views on the E63s, but pay attention. I want you guys to be up to date. Are you going to start posting your life on Life with Boost channel? Oh man, I forgot Cornbread. I'm sorry, man. I forgot about that channel. I really forgot about that channel. Cornbread Lifts. I really forgot about that channel, man. Thank you for reminding me. I've last year was a lot. Like I really should have. Yeah, yeah. Thank you for reminding me. I failed that. I would say one of my biggest failures, or one of the failures of last year not being consistent, is starting up my second channel, because that was supposed to be my life with Boost channel, mainly talking about more of my personal life and stuff. And once again, I'll still talk with car stuff, but like it'll be just more about outside stuff. Like someone had asked me earlier about politics and stuff, and I will give some of my opinion. So like, yeah, thank you, Cornbread Lives. Thank you for reminding me. I literally have a board right here. I'm gonna right? Life updated you because it's New Year and haven't put a video up there in probably 9 months. Which exhaust note do you like more, stock or modified? M177 or M157 exhaust sounds way better. M157 exhaust sounds way better, stock and modified. I don't care. I don't care. I'm putting it out there. CD09 swap with rear mounted turbo. Yeah, just do a rear mounted turbo. Call it a day. Sub boost, pure B58 powered. What's going on? Much love. Happy New Year, brother. I haven't seen you in here in a minute, man. But hopefully you've been doing pretty good. I really hate the VQ and free stereotypes and the rep we get. Bueno, bueno. Listen, I'm gonna say it just straight up like this, because I'm about to tap out in like 11 minutes. Because I've been on here for like 2 hours, talking with you guys, having a good time, laughing, joking, smiling, because this is what we got to do. But I'm gonna say it this. I'm gonna say this on video, and I'm gonna say this very clearly. I please nobody don't get mad at me for saying this. Please don't get mad at me for saying this. I'm not trying to start any problems. I'm just gonna say it. Okay, ready? Cool. The Q50s and G37s are more affordable cars now. So when I was 18, right, I could not repeat. I'm gonna say it on video. I didn't have these nice cars to get under $20,000. In 2006, a lot of cars were not this cool to get. It wasn't easy to get credit that easy. A lot of things you just couldn't access to these cars a lot easier. So I would be a lot more shittier cars to get at that point. Now, because of credit, an 18-year-old making $15 an hour. I know I have an 18-year-old might be watching. No disrespect to you. I'm just let me just get this out. An 18-year-old could go get credit and get a 15, $20,000 car, pay like $300, $400 a month. And depending on what state they are, the insurance might be high, but not high enough. And they could get into some of these nice cars. And not everyone's gonna be nice to their car. Some people are gonna slide. Some people are gonna race their cars because you're 18. You just had fun. You pretty much got one of your dream cars, which you always wanted to get, that can make 600 horsepower. So that is what made the scene bad. The availability and access of the younger men to get these cars. I'm sorry, younger dudes. I was 18 too, man. I was wilding out here, but I had a Maxima, all at 190 horsepower. You guys got a 600 horsepower car for under $1,000 for and modifying it. Like, that's insane. So yeah, like, you start doing bullshit, go to slideshow events, and it makes it look bad for us, man. I know what you mean. My hand was tore up getting up there. Yep, cut my hand on that pulley, changing those damn belts. Uh huh. Up and over. Yep. Uh huh. Yeah. As I said, KO. M157 sounds better than the M177. Stock and modified. Yes. You could put exhaust on it and all that. It sounds way better. Way better. You like the straight pipe VQ or VR30? Trent, you asking me a very dangerous question. Mm, mm. They both bad, bro. I'm sorry, I'm saying on video. Trent, a straight pipe VQ37 sounds terrible. Okay, I'm putting on video. It's terrible. Okay, test pipes, no resonators, no mufflers, sounds terrible. I want to kill myself. But also a straight pipe VR30 sounds just as bad. No cats, no resonator, no muffler. Kill me. Just put the gun to my head. You could just, if you put both of those cars next to each other and they just both go off, I think they're gonna kill everyone's ears in at least a 5 mile radius, because it is obnoxiously loud, bro. I don't know. Just being honest with y'all. So now that we're winding down in the last 5 minutes, if you guys got any questions, throw it in there real quick, because I know I was live for 2 hours. So once again, I'm gonna just say this clearly, man. It's been a journey. Some of you guys have been here since like my first 1,000 subscribers. And I did have some dreams on having like 50,000 subscribers at the end of 2020, 21, stuff like that. And what I realize is that, once again, as I get older, it's okay to have slow progress. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. I would rather have like 1,000 soldiers that really would ride with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm really thankful for the people who still continue to watch the videos on my channel. I may have like 40,000 subscribers, but I know I have like a core 1,000 people who really bang with Boost. Y'all really DM me. Y'all say what's up. Y'all check on me, and I'm thankful for that. Y'all comment. I am appreciative of that. So I'd rather have like What's the joke? What's it with? Like, I'd rather have like a 300 Titans with me, rock with me, than and 1,000 freaking gardeners. Like, like I would just have some of the people who really are dedicated, and I'm just very thankful for you always continue to bang on me, man. Yeah, man, the Ken Block thing, man. I know, George. We talked about it a little earlier, George. Yep, we lost Ken Block, man. At least it seemed like he did something. What he was doing, he's having fun. That's unfortunate though that he lost his life. What do you think about the way Dodge is crashing out as a brand or crushing as a brand? I am very particular. I want to see what their new motor is. That's the Atlantis motor, that twin turbo V6 motor have coming out. I actually want to see what the power potential is on that motor. I think I think in my honest opinion, that motor is going to be no joke. Yes, it's going to be in a 4,500 pound car, but knowing it's a turbo V6 and it's like a 4 liter or 3.8 or 3 point, it's a large displacement V6 and it has two turbos. It's closed deck, I believe I read too. It seems like it's going to be a hell of a motor, and if it's a Dodge, people gonna put large turbos on that car, and I'm thinking they're gonna probably make that thing to 1,000 horsepower very fast. But if it's rear wheel drive, what's the point? It ain't getting nowhere. I agree with you on the VQ37. At least the VR30 is not as raspy. And had a great time in here, Boost. Been here since 13K. Still be here after I move on from Infinity, just as you did. Appreciate that, man. Thank you for tapping in, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Yo, Boost finally got to make a stream. Let's go. Thank you, Lavish J. I'm about to tap out in 4 minutes though. But once again, I'm just gonna keep saying this. Thank you guys for really rocking with me, man. Like I'm very thankful. I have a good core strong of you guys, like guys and girls. 1,000 subscribers. I know y'all really bang with me, man. I know y'all really bang with me. It may not be Infinity content. It may be me just reporting the news. Y'all saw the change. And one thing I gotta say is peep game that I changed the content on the channel. I used to be the guy working on the car, and then I switched to reporting the news and helping you guys with your buildings, giving informative information, and y'all still support it. And I'm very thankful of that. It was something hard for me to do because I was, if I can't do things to cars, I feel like I can't make content. And I think that's the one thing I realized as a car YouTuber that, and I would say for the people who was asking about becoming a YouTuber, that's important. You have to go with the times and try new things and move forward, because some of the YouTube, only a small specific YouTubers are still doing the same thing. I would only use example of like one person, like Fresh Kicks. Fresh Kicks is still doing like the similar same thing. He really never changed up. Like he just gets a new car, rinse and repeat, do the same things, and he'll get different cars from different platforms, and that's how he grew his audience. And now he has a good, strong core of people who really bang on him because it's like they like the way he shows his story. And as I'm getting older and understanding YouTube and getting more into the car world, I realize I've been trying this. Does this fit into my life? Whatever. And I realize my lifestyle isn't like those type of YouTubers. I live in New York City, so I'm not gonna be around so much car things going on. A lot of car stuff is far away. So I had to evolve. And this is something what I started doing, you know. How did you get that loan with a high interest rate? What would you suggest someone looking to buy a whip in 2023? Kevin C, to be honest with you, you gonna learn. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit in the next up and coming videos. I'm gonna say my interest rate is 7.5. Yes, I know, 7.5, insane. My credit score is above 800. I know, I know. Tell you. But short answer, I would say is because I built up my ability of loaning car loans. As I said at the start of this video, you can go check this whole live. Short answer, you have to get the amount of money you can borrow up. So if you borrow $20,000, then you got, after a year, go up to 40. From 40, you go to 80. After 80, for another year, you go up to 150, 160, and after that, you're good. So once you build yourself up, you can walk into a dealership with an 800 credit score, knowing that, hey, listen, I can borrow up to $80,000, and you put zero down. That's what zero down really means. They trust you with borrowing that money, and you technically don't have to put any money down. So you got to build that up to that moment, and that's something that I did. Honestly, cash out if you could put at that point. That was advice I needed. I started my own YouTube channel. Thanks, Boost. Appreciate that, brother. I'm about to tap out too. 7.5. I know 800 credit score, 7.5. But don't worry. Don't worry. I'm going to refinance it. It ain't a problem. I know what to do, but I need to keep it on a loan for at least 9 months so that I can get out of the car and get something else. Got to build up. It is what it is. You'll see where we are at the end of 2023. Hopefully, I'm alive. Hopefully, I'm still blessed in the sense of having blood and a soul and the spirit in my body. You know what I'm saying? Because we lost Ken Block, and at the end of the day, as we get older, man, we're gonna keep losing people around us. And at the end of the day, I'm just gonna say this very clearly. I've always been trying my best to be a positive dude. I don't really show so much in my videos, but I'm a very positive dude. I like to help the people around me. Listen, guys, keep hustling, keep working, work smart, try new things in your life. Sometimes get out your comfort zone and try new things. I'm telling you. I just give it a shot and give it a good 14 days, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. Develop a habit at it. Like, I don't care whatever you're into, man. Just give it a shot. And it's to my girls too, same thing. So it's like, just give those things a shot. You never know, man. You never know where you could be in 3 to 6 to 9 months if you just tried something new. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a man, you better not be broke on my channel. I'm putting it like this. You better not be broke. What I mean by that is if you're working 40 hours a week and you broke, we're not having that. Not in 2023. You better get a second part-time job, a side hustle, or something. You better be working 60 hours or more, period. Because I don't want to hear that broke shit on that channel. I don't care. I was broke too. I was fucking really broke. You guys don't even know. Your boy ain't had nothing to scrape together. Nothing but water and eat bananas out here. All right? Cool. Because bananas was cheap. You get a pack of bananas for 99 cents. All right? So I'm tapping out. I really appreciate you guys. You guys have a good night. Um, You never know, KO. You never know. But outside that, guys, you have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Thank you for tapping in. Rewatch this live if you came in late. I dropped some really informative information and much love. I appreciate it. You guys have a good day. Thank you. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Do appreciate you guys. Love you guys very much. You can also check out the 2 links I posted for some of my other videos. Also, on top of that, if you want to purchase some Boost in Motion merch, definitely check the link that I posted also. And finally, if you've been watching all my videos and you enjoy them, please hit the link to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you. Thank you.